Good morning, guys. I'm Neil. 8:24 Central Time, June 26, 2026. What am I looking to buy today? I'm looking to buy Apple. If Apple trades below the RSI of 30, buy. That's what I'm looking at. So let's pull up the chart and let's check this out. So right now, Apple's trading at 275.17. This is pre-market. We're less than 5 minutes to the open. The line that I have drawn here, 273.33, is the pre-market low. So I'm looking for Apple to actually break that, or at least provide some support early when it comes to that. Go to the 3 minute, or excuse me, the 3 month, or it looks like I've got, 3 month chart here on Apple, and it shows our RSI right now. It closed yesterday at 32.20. And I'm looking for that RSI to break 30. Breaks 30, I'm going to enter and I'm going to go long. Excuse me. And let's look at that trade. So I'm looking at September the 18th. Calls, straight up calls. That's 84 days to expiration. And if it gets down to 273, we can see we've got a 270 strike and a 275. More than likely, I'll probably, when it populates, I'm going to come over here and look at volume. Open interest on the 270 call is 6,500 options. The 275 is 56.18. So both of them have healthy open interest. You want to go with an option strike that has got plenty of open interest, that gives you the volume to get in and to get out. So theoretically, if it's trading less than 275, I'd like to get in the money, get an in the money strike. So I'd be looking at 270. So you can see the bid ask on the 270 right here. It's 1850. That'd be times 1980. And we would obviously be clicking on the buy, not the sell. We would buy here at 1980. We would click on that, probably try to split the difference. That's a pretty good spread. $1.30 looks like. So we'd probably put an order in, maybe $19 or $1,900. But that's going to change. That's going to change dramatically here in the next 2.5 minutes. So we're looking to buy Apple. Go long on Apple if it trades less than 30 on the RSI. And to reiterate, right now it closed yesterday with an RSI of 32.20. You can see that chart that goes down. And I'm looking, go back to this 5-minute chart on the left, 15 on the right. And you can see we continue to sell off. Now it's 274.72. So the VIX, haven't talked to you much about the VIX. The VIX is over 20. The problem with that volatility index is what that stands for. It's a fear index. The higher it goes, the market will diverge. The lower the market goes. The problem with the VIX, when the VIX goes up, it makes your option premiums accelerate. It's more costly. So you really want to keep that VIX less than 20 to stay into some cheaper, more affordable options. If you play options, and I do, I buy options and buy shares too. But what this is telling us that the traders, the market, the futures are down a little bit, and there's a little bit of fear out there. Even though the war is over, the dust has settled, and the traders and some of the investors are like, I don't know what's going on. We can go to the S&P 500 and you can see that the S&Ps are down right now. Yesterday they closed at 734. They're trading down $4 right now, 728.82. Now these marks over here are going to be the pre-market high. I'm looking at the 15-minute on the right. We got a pre-market high of 732.62. That's a level we need to get above. We've got a previous day low, and that's about where it's at right now, 729.62. And then this morning's pre-market low is 726.65. I mark that every day to let me know what the high and the low was yesterday and the pre-market high and low before the market opens. Those are levels that will create some support and resistance intraday. Okay. SpaceX has popped up as my number one volume stock over Micron. And the reason being is there's going to be a Russell 3000 rebalancing today, about 2:30, 3:30. There's the bell. The market's open. But the Russell is going to rebalance. What does that mean? They're going to kick a bunch out. They're going to take a bunch in. Well, guess who they're taking in the index? They're bringing in SpaceX. Okay. So when they bring in SpaceX, that means they've got to purchase SpaceX. All of these index, if you will, hedge fund people and mutual fund people, they're going to have to purchase that. So no matter where SpaceX is during the day, it will probably get a pop and move higher the last 30 minutes of the trading day. So watch that. If you're short SpaceX, you might want to cover before the last 30 minutes of the day. So right now the market is down, opened down. It opened down further. You can see the S&Ps are down nearly $6. Let's go to Apple. Okay, Apple, where are you, Apple? So Apple right now is trading at 275.18, and that's not going to be an RSI less than 30. So we're going to hold our hands. We're going to sit on them. Let's go to the 3-month chart. So as we speak, the RSI is at 33. So it's catching a bid, and you can see here, look at this. Remember now, the first 15, 20 minutes of the trading day, you really need to let things settle. There's no direction. There's a lot of buy and sell orders that hit the system. And so you can have big fluctuations. And right now, obviously, Apple is looking really good, but will it continue to do that through the day? We don't know. But I always like to let everything settle. So I usually wait most of the time. Especially on a day trade, I'm going to wait and let that market settle and see, give me some kind of direction. Look at the 15-minute high, 15-minute low, and see if we can break that either way. But let's see, SpaceX is down to 148. Okay, Micron, we're having a sell-off, a little bit of a sell-off on Micron. It looks like it got down to 1119.80 pre-market about 15 minutes ago. And I've got this 1135.82 mark. That's the pre-market low. And it's interesting, if you can see this, let me make it bigger. Check this line out. You can see it right. This is the 5-minute, this is the open right here, the first 5-minute candle. Well, look at the low right at the pre-market low. So that's a pre-market support level that stock has held so far. Okay, not pre-market, but previous day. I'm sorry. Okay, I think that's right. Let's go back to Apple. Apple is up $1.44. It's the third company in my list as far as volume. Nearly 4 million shares already traded the first 2 minutes of the day. I'm looking at some green. Microsoft has called a bid. We bought that yesterday, looking pretty good. Palantir's catching a good bid. We bought that yesterday. Both of them sold less than 30 RSI. Look at Netflix up $1.92. We bought that last week. Had a very bad entry. If you watched the video, about $75, $76. I ended up buying it 3 different times. The same thing, September 18. I want to say 75 calls. I'd have to pull it up and look at it. But that's one of those that's been way oversold. And I can bring that up. There you are. Big time oversold. So yeah, I'm looking at the text box up here. I did buy 75 calls. That's a 75 strike. So we got to get back over 75 to get in the money on Netflix. We got a ways to go, but way oversold, and good company, not going out of business more than likely. And so we want to take advantage of times when the good companies are oversold, overdone, and give us a chance to wait on that company to rebound. And how we do that, we either buy shares or we go just a straight out call option, but we want to have it for at least 60 to 90 days. We want to give ourselves some time for that option to work out. You could even go further out if you wanted to. Okay, let's keep going. Space stocks, Rocket Labs is up a little bit. And let's see, AMD is down. NVIDIA, let's see, let me punch in NVDA. NVIDIA is down again today, 414. Wow. The leading semiconductor company continues to bleed. Oracle is down. ASTS space is up. Meta's catching a little bit of a bid finally. Let's see. That's pretty much it on the tech stocks. Let's go to the non-tech stocks. Pfizer's catching a bid. We bought Pfizer, another 30, less than 30 RSI yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. It's catching a little bit of bid. Nike got a downgrade today, and I don't know who in the devil. I can't remember the company, but why would you? Let me show you the chart. Why would you downgrade Nike when you look at this chart? I mean, it's at a 52-week low. Excuse me. RSI is still above 30, but Nike's had a tough time, and you're gonna downgrade it here. Not so sure about all of that, but anyway, they did get a downgrade, and maybe we can show you where you can go to get upgrades and downgrades every day, totally free. Briefing.com would be that website. Maybe we'll go in and show you that here in a minute, and maybe we'll also look at this Russell reconstitution. We could do that. I could show you that where they publicly tell us about that, publicize that. And you can look at all the companies they're going to add that they have to buy by the close of today, and look at all the companies that they have to sell. So there's some positives, and then there's some negatives. Now, a lot of these companies that are kicked out, they go to the micro. And if you don't know what market cap is, we could look into that a little bit. But remember, market capitalization for a company basically is the share price times the shares outstanding. Okay, so if a company has 1 million shares outstanding and they're selling for $1 a share a piece, they have a $1 million market cap. That's how they equate that. So all of these different indexes, the S&P 500, the Dow, by the way, Google went into the Dow this week. All of these different indexes have metrics that they go by. They have stipulations that you have to have a certain market cap to get into that index. So if your stock price falls, that's going to mean your market cap is going to go down. And if it goes down too much, these indexes look at it and they're like, okay, wow, we got to kick them out. Now, the first one comes to mind. I hope I'm not getting off task here, but the first one that comes to my mind is Beyond Meat. Okay, who remembers Beyond Meat? Well, I do. During COVID, the fake hamburger. Okay, everybody was in. You couldn't go out and eat. You couldn't do anything. So Beyond Meat come on the market, got into Walmart, got into Costco. This fake hamburger, vegetarian hamburger, if you will, and it was really, really big. Everybody thought it was just going to take over the beef industry. So let's pull that up and let me show you something. BYND. It's trading at 68 cents a share as we speak. Well, that's not relevant to the conversation. So I want to go 10 years out. I want to go to a monthly chart and click OK. Okay, look back here. $239.71 on July 2020. COVID. Are you with me? We're here around COVID time. And you can see this, there's just gangbusters. Everybody's buying Beyond Meat. But look what happened. Over a long period of time, it just kept going down. And then it finally got all the way down here to $16 a share. And then it just keeps going down. Okay. And all the way to today, it's 68 cents a share. Okay. Well, Russell is going to kick them out, and then they're going to replace it, or one of the stocks they're going to add this afternoon is SpaceX. Okay. Why are they going to add a company like SpaceX? And they've only been public for what, 7 days, 7 days maybe. Okay. 2 days, a half a day last week, I think, and Friday. And then you've got, not Friday, because Friday the market was closed. Maybe it was Wednesday and Thursday, half on Wednesday, and then I'm losing my time here, and then maybe all day. But either way, about over a week. It hadn't been public, but over a week because of the market cap. Okay, share price times shares outstanding, big market cap. At one time, it got up to $3 trillion. How much is a trillion? 1,000 billion. Okay, how much is a billion? 1,000 million. Okay, so that's a little bit of education on that. So let's go back to the market. Let me get this chart back the way it should be. It's 3 months. Let's go to a day and click OK, and go back to the S&P, our 5-minute chart. So let's see here. Make that a little bit bigger for us. So we got down nearly to the pre-market low of 726.65. So we know right now that's pretty good support. We're working on that 15-minute high and low. Well, look at the 729.62. That's the previous day low. Excuse me. So the 729.62 is providing good resistance, and the 726.65 or pre-market low right now is providing good support. So negative, yes, but that's kind of the channel that we're looking at. We want that to break out over the pre-market or previous day low, and certainly stay inside or above the pre-market low of 726.65. So we're just going to wait on that. Let's look at some news on the S&P. Not a lot of news. Okay, not any news really. So let's go back to Apple. Apple continues to catch a bid. Apple's looks like high so far is about 278, and right now it's 277.20. So it's not headed in the direction that I want it to head to purchase it and go long. But we're just looking at the first, we still have 2.5 minutes for the first 15 minutes to end. So it's real early. And unless something changes, I feel like that we could close red today overall in the market. And if we do that, we're probably looking at an opportunity to get into Apple for sure. So we're just going to be patient on that. We're not going to front run anything. We're going to wait. We're going to stick to our guns. Remember, RSI less than 30 oversold, RSI over 70 overbought. Okay, I want to buy good companies when they're on sale. How do I know they're on sale? The RSI on the daily chart is clicking less than 30. Okay, and I had a video that that shows you how you can go in FinViz and you can punch in some metrics there, some stipulations, and you can filter that out, and you can see what companies are trading less than 30 on the RSI. So let's go. SpaceX has caught a bid, as you can see, got all the way down to 148. You see what I'm talking about when the volatility, you got to let things settle. Look at this. First 5 minutes of SpaceX today, 151.29, all the way down to 148. So you got tons of people. Okay. You're looking at 3 million shares the first 5 minutes. See that big red bar? And then the volume started coming off. So as it settles, you got more buy orders coming in. And this Russell reconstitution, excuse me, where they have to pitch things out and have to catch things in, that's going to matter. People are going to pick up on that. The news is going to spread, and you're going to find more people getting into SpaceX. So I look for SpaceX to be higher than it started today at the close. I look for it to be green. Right now it's down $1.13 at 151.80, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. Okay. Speaking of, I tell you what I could do. I could segue. Let's stop sharing that screen, and let's go to the Russell page. Okay. So hopefully you can see this. So this is, you can see up here, you can just punch in. All I did is Google Russell reconstitution. This came up. You scroll down, gives you all kind of information. Okay. So look, 2026 preliminary index additions and deletions. Russell 3000 additions. So we're going to click on that box, and it's going to populate 6 pages. Okay. Make it a little bigger. 6 pages of additions. These are the additions, alphabetical order with the symbol and the industry. And we're going to go down to S for SpaceX. Bear with me. Okay, right here. Here it is. Space Exploration Technology, SPCX, Telecommunications is the industry. So there's your SpaceX that will be added today, 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time. And word on the street, there's about $2 billion of stock that will need to be purchased. So just think about that. All right. So that is the additions. And if we want to know what they're kicking out, just go right back and come over to the deletions and make this bigger. Okay. Alphabetical order, same thing, symbol. And a lot of these companies you're not going to know. Just because they're deleting it doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like a Beyond Meat right here. Right up above Beyond Meat is Bassett Furniture. Well, I know for sure that Bassett had great earnings. The stock went up last week. So more than likely, Bassett's coming out of the Russell 3000, and it's probably going to go into the S&P 600, okay, which is positive. So it's not all negative when something comes out of an index. Now, in the case of Beyond Meat, don't buy Beyond Meat. It's going to go bankrupt, obviously. So don't gamble. Okay, I want to illustrate that that this is not totally negative for all companies. It just means the market capitalization has changed. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can take the time and do that if you would like. You could even say, you know what, I'm going to look at the micro cap additions. These are going to be really small companies. And you would have to look up each company and research it. Say, hey, I like that company. I like what they're doing, and I'm going to buy that company. So this is what, anytime the index is rebalance, reconstitute, you can go in and you can get a watch list if you want to do that. That's totally your prerogative. Okay. So we're going to stop sharing on that. And let's see, we're going to go back to here, and I want to share a chart because I got to think about what could I do. Now, this is stockcharts.com, and with it, it's free. So with it, you're going to have all these different ads. As you can see, that's how they make their money. But the charting service is really, really good. And so I've got Apple punched in, and you can see the RSIs up here. Okay, and you can see it's at 32.22. Now I'm going to hit refresh, and that's probably going to go up from 32 because this is clicking a price of 275, and we know that it was 277, 278. Excuse me. Okay, so you can see. I just want to pull this chart up so that you could see visually the RSI and illustrate something real quick to you. And we've done this in the past. These two lines, this is the 30 and this is the 70. Now remember, over 70, this is overbought. Less than 30, oversold. Now look at Apple. Back in, let's look January, the last 2 weeks of January, Apple is way oversold. It got down, looks like, to about less than 25, probably around 23 RSI. What did the stock do? Boom. So it goes from here, 240, to basically 270 very quickly. Now look what happened when it trades all the way up to the 70 RSI. You see that? What did the stock do? It came down. Okay, so this technical indicator, the RSI, Relative Strength Index, is real. The 14 in parentheses here is the last 14 days. That's how the metrics is figured. Okay, it equates to the last average trading price of the last 14 days, and it spits that Relative Strength Index number out. Okay, you can Google that and get more definitive information on it if you want to. And then the price goes up. You see it going up here, and look what happens when it starts getting overbought. It stays overbought for a while. Just because it jumps up here and overbought doesn't mean it's going to immediately come back down every time. Okay, just as if it goes down below 30, that doesn't mean it's going to immediately go back out of it and people start buying. It's just a great place to accumulate a position when it's oversold, for sure, less than 30. But I want you to see the visual on this chart. It's probably a little bit easier for you to check that out when it comes to RSI, because it's at the top here, and I hope it helps when it comes to that. Let's click refresh, and this is not live. This is going to be a delayed quote. Okay. Not the way my trading platform is, but anyway, Apple's catching a bid. You can see you got a big red candle yesterday, one of the worst days Apple's had in a long time, and it still has not reached yesterday's low. So right now we have a higher low, which is positive, but you can see it's got a long way to go to break that high. It's not going to do that today. Trust me, I know that. Okay. Also, not me, but by default, they put in MACD. That's an acronym for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. You can look that up. It's a really good indicator when to enter. If you're going to trade, either a swing trade, buy something and hold it. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about going long on companies that are oversold, okay, and holding it for 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. That's a swing trade, okay? Anything over a couple of weeks, not a day trade. And to help you with that, you can look at these MACD crosses. Look at what happens when the MACD crossed negative here. It crossed right in here, looks like. Well, that's a good time to go ahead and sell or go short. Same way back over here in April, it crossed positive. You see this? Crossed positive in early April, looks like. Great time right in here to buy. Okay, so when you do that, that's another good way to enter and even exit companies. By default, usually they put in the 50 and 200 simple moving average. That's what these blue and red lines are. So here's the thing. If Apple sells off today and hits an RSI of less than 30, more than likely it's going to be above the 200 SMA of 269. That's simple moving average. That is so positive. Anytime you can catch a big company, a good company that's above its 200 simple day moving average, okay, but it's sold off, great time to load up, back the truck up. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy shares. 100 shares, you talk about $27,000. I'm going to be buying options and going the long way, the call option. Okay. So let's go back and let's pull up the TOS Anchor Swim, and let's go to SPY. SPY's caught a bid. So let's look at that real quick. We are 854. Remember the 9 o'clock after the first 30 minutes, a lot of times the market wants to reverse. Doesn't happen every time, but a lot of times it does. There's no real news that I can see. I can't remember what news is coming out, but you got to know every day there's some news that comes out around the 9 o'clock time, which is 9 Central here. But it is catching a bid. You can see some higher highs and higher lows. I can see 3 of them here. Here's a higher high, higher low. Look at this bid. Boom. So we're still working on that. And looking at the white line, remember, is an 8 MA, and the blue line or fluorescent line is the 21. I love to take day trades if we get a cross on that. Okay. So I also like to get a trade if the RSI sells below 30, which it has come not even close. So this is positive. This is good. The stock market right now is trying to break above the previous day's low. Okay, it's got to get above that. So it's basically going to have to close above 730, if you will, for some confirmation. 729.80 looks like about high a day. And so it needs to get up above that. It needs to close, for me anyway, on the 5-minute chart above 730. Great place to go long, or at least look at Microsoft. Microsoft's up $10. Awesome. So check that trade out from yesterday. Yesterday we bought one. There it is. We bought one call at 27.50, and it's at 34.75. So we're up $725 on that. Not even closely interested in selling that. We got plenty of time. That's a September 18. So we're looking pretty good on that. Palantir, we bought yesterday's, caught a good bid and did the same thing. We bought Palantir and Microsoft at the same time. I got a 105 call. I paid $1,300. It's at 15.62. So we're up 261 on that. So good deal. Works out sometimes. When does it not work out? Well, let's see. I bought Pfizer, and Pfizer's catching a bid right now, but I bought Pfizer 24 call. It's over 24. Bought 5. Here it is at 103. It's at 96 cents. So I'm down $41. So what else? Well, let's go Netflix. Netflix is catching a good bid. It's at 73.44, but I got a 75 call that I bought a week ago, and I paid $5.98, and it's at $5.27. So I'm down $214. So I want to show you the good and the bad and the ugly. And remember, we're buying options, and we're buying them long term. So we've got time for these stock prices to work out. We've got time for Netflix to get out of that less than 30 RSI. And look at here. Right now, as we speak, Netflix is trading 30.35. It is coming out, okay, of that less than 30 RSI. Does that mean it won't go back in? It does not mean that. Look at the chart. Okay, it's come out of the 31, 2, 3. This is the 4th time. So it could go right back in it, or it could be a time that people are like, you know what? I'm ready to buy Netflix. Okay, market's frothy. We're at all-time highs. I'm a little bit concerned. I want to build cash, but I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to go the safe route. And a lot of times, that's one reason Apple catches a bid. It tends to be more safe, if you will. But right now, as we speak, it looks like it's selling a little bit. Apple right now is at 33.44 RSI. And you can see, let's see here. Okay, Apple is selling as we speak. The high of the day is 278.20. And I'm looking at Apple. Their folks are coming in and they're dumping it. Okay, some folks are. See all the red on time and sales. So let's go to the news. What kind of news do we have? Okay, let's see. Apple looks to China for relief from memory price shock. Magnificent Seven's Black June triggers $1 billion exodus from Mag's ETF. Not any specific news about Apple. I mean, the big news, they raised prices on their products yesterday. And as I said in yesterday's video, that's a big negative. Usually for a company to raise prices. Is it though? Can Apple raise prices and people still buy the phone? Yes. They have a big moat. And I feel like when the dust settles, people are still going to buy their products. And I don't think it's going to be net negative for the company. So therefore, does my opinion matter? My opinion does not matter. What matters to me is if it's a good company, if it's a solid company, and if it's an oversold company. How do I know it's oversold? RSI less than 30, buy. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm like, hey, sell it down, and let's get it below the RSI of 30, and I'm going to buy it. I may buy it 2 or 3 different times if it stays below 30 for several days, but I will take advantage of that opportunity. And that's exactly what it is. Oversold conditions most of the time are really good opportunities. So let's see here. Micron has caught a bid big time. It got down to, let's see, 1127.08. Tesla's catching a little bit of a bid, 376. SPY has caught a bid. Look at this. Since I've been talking, wow. I mean, we've got a big jump in SPY. Look, here's your cross right here. I should have kept it on SPY and entered right in here, but I didn't. Okay. So can't win them all. Let's see. Okay. Consumer expectations at 9 o'clock. The Michigan consumer sentiment came out for June, 49.5 versus 48.9 estimated. So that's positive. That means our consumers are feeling a little bit better. Expectations 50.7 versus 49.3. So that's the reason we got a pop. Our consumers are feeling a little bit better. I wonder why they're feeling a little bit better. Probably because of gas prices. Oil is down below $80 this morning. When I got up, it was like $78.50. Prices at the pump. I need to get some gas. I'm waiting. Here in Tupelo, Mississippi. Excuse me. I saw 321 yesterday. So I'm hoping that these lower oil prices, I'm hoping to get around $3 a gallon when I fill my truck up. It's got a 36-gallon tank. So I'm kind of waiting on that, and because oil is definitely trending in the right direction, which will definitely equate to cheaper gas prices. Go back to Apple. Apple just caught another bid, and it's back up to 276.69. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out of here, and we'll be back with you maybe at the closing bell. I don't know, but if I don't, I'll see you sometime next week, or may do something this weekend. But hey, I appreciate you. I hope it helps. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you guys, hope you have a great weekend.